All right, everyone, so for this part of the video, I'm going to share with you how you can spruce up one of your simple wreaths. I'm gonna take this tag off from this wreath. If you may have a boxwood wreath or just an evergreen wreath, I'm going to share with you how easy it is to spruce it up and put on your front door. And in order to do that, we're going to make a fabulous bow with this beautiful ribbon. You guys, lemons is my go-to decor item for summer. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with this 4-inch and we're going to give it a tail. Now I want to show you a trick. So what you want to do is pinch like a taco and put it between your thumb and your index finger. Then you want to go about 24 inches or so, and then you want to pinch and bring it into your thumb. Your thumb is that clip that is going to clip all of your ribbons. Then you want to twist it. Then you want to go another 24 inches, and then you're going to fold like a taco, and then you're going to come here and gather it all together, as you guys can see. Then we're going to give it a long tail. So when you're giving the tail, the easiest way is to go up the ribbon and then curve and then go one more time. And so you're left now with a bow and 2 tails. Well, we're going to introduce the exact same ribbon. We're going to give it another 8 inches, fold like a taco with a print going forward. Then we're going to crisscross it. So we're going to go right here. And with this one, we're just going to do a smaller tail. So we're going to go up the ribbon, then curve around and cut, and look how easy it is to create that bow. Oh, let me dovetail this side right here. I really hope you guys are enjoying these spring summer DIYs. I'm having so much fun sharing them with you. All right, so now that we're done with all of this ribbon, we take it out of our box because that way it's not fighting and competing with the other ones. Then we're going to bring this polka dot one. We're going to do the same. So about, well, I want to say probably about 8 inches. We're going to introduce our first tail. Remember to fold it like a taco. Just introduce in your thumb and your index finger. And I just love this polka dot ribbon, you guys. It is double-sided printed, which means there's smaller polka dots on one side, bigger polka dots on the other side. So we're going to flip them around. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab and pinch. Look how easy this is. We're going to bring into our thumbs. We're going to gather right there. Then we're going to go down again about 24 inches, and then we're going to bring up and we're going to fluff. And so now we're going to do the longer tail. When you do the bow, you do the longer tail. When you reintroduce the ribbon, you do the shorter tail. But in order to do the shorter tail, now I'm going to spin my ribbon around. Look how pretty. It's a contrasted polka dot. So now remember, this tail went to the left. Now our next tail is going to go to the right. And we're going to do a short tail, up and around. So we have so far 4 loops and some tails. Oh, see, once again, you know what I'm saying? If I come to your house and your ribbon's not dovetail, you better have the scissors ready, because I'm gonna ask you for scissors so I can dovetail for you. Okay, so now that we're done with this ribbon, we'll take it out. Now we're going to introduce one of my favorites. Look how pretty this plaid and yellow. It is perfect for this theme. So now what we're going to do is we're going to grab our tail about, I want to say about 12 inches. We're going to go up, and then once again about 24 inches, pinch like a taco and bring it up like this. Then once again 24 inches and go like this. And we're going to do our long tail and like this. So now we have 2 tails, 2 loops and a tail. And once again, dovetail your top ribbon. So now we're going to introduce the exact same ribbon, about the same, about 12 inches, and then another tail. What we could do is flip it around too, but now this one I like the plaid because it really goes with all the ribbons. So now we're gonna have these 2 tails, remember, one up, one down. And so now I'm going to cut. I did an extra loop on this one because I really like this ribbon. It is so pretty. Look at that. Oh, let me dovetail this guy right here. And now what we're going to do is going to introduce our very first 2-inch or 1-inch ribbon. Is going to be this other polka dot. So we're going to do the same. We're going to fold it, bring it into our fingers, 24 inches, pinch, twist, 24 inches, bring it, pinch, twist. For this one, I'm going to do 3 loops like this. And then we're gonna cut at an angle right here. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring the same ribbon, crisscross it, put it on my thumb and my index finger, and then do a shorter tail. So that's gonna be the end of it. Now to tie it, what you need is a wire. This would be easy if I had a big zip tie, but right now I don't, but I have this wire. So I'm gonna put it through all of this, and it'd be easier because you know what? I'm gonna attach to the wreath. So the easiest way is to go through all of your bows and find that other ribbon, other wire, the back of the wire, pull really, really tight, and then twist it around. Now that you have it twisted, now you can really fluff all of this. And look how simple it is. We're gonna put this guy right here. Look, you guys, how absolutely fun this is. It's just a simple, well, not so simple bow on a wreath that is made out of boxwood, and you have yourself a beautiful entryway for your home this summer season. Stay tuned for more. All right, everyone, so for this part of the video, I'm going to share with you how to create a beautiful handheld swag, and I'm gonna start with some greenery. I love this palm right here. I think it is so cute. Let me take these tags off real quick. And I have a longer one that is going to be the bottom part of it, and then I have a shorter one that is going to be the top. So what you want to do is you want to unite them like this. This I'm going to bend. I don't want to cut it because I think, you know what, I think actually I can, oh yeah, look at that. You can take that out and then you can really bend it to secure it right here. Or you could cut it if you wanted to, but I think right now at this point, the more you can hang on to, the better. That's going to serve as a base. All right, so we're gonna put that one to the top. So you're gonna hang on like this. What you want to do is I'm going to bring some other type of greenery. In this case, oh my goodness, I'm all tangled up. In this case, I'm gonna bring some of this beautiful greenery. And once again, I'm gonna go one up, and don't forget to fluff them. Just give them some life and you'll see how easy it is. This one I think I'm going to cut. I think it is a little too long for my taste. So let me see how hard. Sometimes you guys, these stems are so hard to cut. But see, if you cinch it like that, and if you just go 1, 2, it'll come right out. So no need to really stress your wrist. All right, so then the next one I'm going to add going down. Once again, trying to fluff every single branch as you touch it, because remember, this is how they grow in the wilderness. So we're gonna attach this right here. I'm gonna make sure that I put that one to the back so I can cut it. So that gives us like the armature of how our swag is going to go. So then next I'm going to bring some of this beautiful hydrangea. I think actually this is by Burnham. So I'm going to add this guy right here, going down like this. And then my next viburnum I'm going to bring up, but I want some of these to go down. So what you need to do is just fold them down, and that way you can start to introduce some to the middle. So if you guys see, it kind of create that step ladder motion like this. Never letting go of your core. Remember, you can never let go of your core because that's where we're going to tie. Then we're going to add some of these blooms. This one I am going to cut as well because I feel like it is too long, and this one is an easy one to cut, so no worry. I'm going to bring it right here, making sure that I fluff every single stem. Then I'm going to bring this other one that I'm also going to cut. When you work in the floral industry, this is just how it is. You know, you work with basically one hand full of wire cutters, scissors. You still have to make it work. Right, so I'm going to add this guy right here. So this one to the left, this one to the right. Even when you're making a swag or a wreath, you have to continue to say that in your mind, so that way it's pretty well balanced. So this is what it looks like so far. It all looks like that on the door. It is so pretty. So let's see, I have another one of these beautiful greeneries. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to introduce it like this on top of all of this. And what I like about this is because you can really spread it out. Look at this. And some going down, some going up. That way you have some of the same element all throughout your swag. And that's really going to make it bounce on the door. This is almost like your flyaway, and I love this combination of pink and green right now for summer. I am obsessed. All right, so now that I have all of this, I'm going to hang on with a zip tie. So I'm going to zip tie all of this together to make sure that I don't lose my core. Remember, this is your core, and this is where our main things fly off of. So I'm going to pull really tight, and I'm going to cut the excess. So far, this is what it looks like. I'm going to get a few more elements and I'll be right back with you. Keep watching. All right, you guys, so the next step is to create a beautiful bow. And for that, I'm going to use a selection of 3 ribbons. We're gonna make a really fluffy bow. You know, it is your only chance you get to make a first impression, and that is at the door. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna start with this beautiful green and pink to go with our florals. And remember, I've been teaching you how to create this beautiful bow. So basically what you do is pinch, you put it between your index finger and your thumb, and then you go down like this, about 24 inches, you pinch, you bring it up, you twist, and then you go another 24 inches, you bring it up, and then you twist. And that's going to leave you with your first 2 loops. And what you want to do at this point is dovetail. And for this one, I do want some longer tails because I want it to go all the way down the swag. So what you do is you go up, you twist, and you go like this. And then for our next bow, what you're going to do, or our next tail, we're going to bring the same ribbon and we're going to fold back like a taco between our thumbs. And then we're going to make another smaller tail, this time not as pronounced as the other one. Oh, basically what we're trying to do is cut right here. All right, so now that gives us 4 tails. Oh, look, I didn't dovetail this one. You know how I am about dovetailing. So we're gonna dovetail that. We're gonna put this one to the side, and then we're going to bring this beautiful hydrangea ribbon. You guys, I am obsessed with this ribbon. Look how pretty this is. It has a hydrangea in it. I'm gonna put it on that box right there. And then we're gonna fold like this. We're gonna put it between our thumbs. Remember to go about 24 inches. You're gonna fold about right here like a taco. And then you go like this. You pinch between your thumb and your finger. So basically one up, then you're gonna go about 24 inches. You're going to pinch and then down. So one up, one down when you're making these bows. Then you twist. You wanna make sure that this printed side, and remember we want some longer tails for this particular one. So what you're going to do is you're going to go up, then curve around, and then down. Then we want to bring, oh, let me dovetail this. Thumbs up if you guys are enjoying these spring summer DIYs. I'm having a blast, let me tell you. And I just want to say real quick, a quick thank you to Shinoda Design Center for allowing us to come here to play with all of these beautiful products so that I can teach you guys new techniques on how to create beautiful DIYs for your home. All right, so let me cut this guy right here. Never letting go of your core, you guys. These 2 fingers, never let go of all of your beautiful tails and such. All right, so far we have 2 longer tails. Now we're going to bring this beautiful 1-inch ribbon. And once again, you're gonna fold right here down, go in between your thumbs. You wanna make sure that you fluff all of these ribbons as you go. Then about 24 inches, you pinch, you go up, twist, 24 inches, pinch, twist. And now you have all of these right here. Once again, a long tail. We want it to go all the way down like this because it's a longer swag. And then we're going to bring the same ribbon, remember, and we're going to do another loop. And so basically just the opposite side like this. And this is a short tail, like so. Now to finish this beautiful bow, what I do want is to bring the exact same ribbon that I started with. So I'm gonna bring my ribbon and I'm gonna do a tail. This is going to be your short tail, so like this. Instead of 24, do about 12 inches, you bring it back, then you go like this, and then you give yourself a short tail. That's just to finish our ribbon bow. Look, you have this beautiful bow. Before we tie it, we want to make sure that we fluff every single bow, so that every single tail. Now we're gonna bring our taped wire and we're gonna go through all of this like this. This is sometimes for some people the hard part, but trust me when I tell you, once you have it down packed, look, So you're gonna go like this, and you're going to pinch. You're gonna be left with these two pieces of wire that we're gonna use to attach. So now we're gonna bring our swag, and remember this was our core, so that's where our bow is going to go, and we're going to attach this bow basically by grabbing those two wires that we were left with right here in the back. And the way I like to do it is grab it like this, and then we make sure that it's tight, and then we go and spin it around. Oh, the other way, the other way. Spin it around like that. And this wire that you were left with, you're gonna attach it together and make a little loop so you have something to hang it to your door with. So now that we have our loop, we're gonna hang this right here like it was our door, and so we now can fluff our ribbons. Look how pretty, you guys. And now this you might want to weave in between your flowers like this. You might want to attach it. I used to do this, watch. I used to do, that's why I leave a longer tail like this, because what we do is like we grab one of these flowers and then we just swirl it around to create more loops. Like this one right here, I could grab this guy right here and then just swirl it around and then create loops like this. Isn't that pretty? All right, so now I'm going to dovetail the ones that I forgot because I don't want to be red. You know, sometimes you guys catch me. And remember that this inch, 1.5 inches or smaller, you always just cut it a slant. No need to dovetail. Let me see which one over here. And that's how easy, you guys, it is to create a beautiful swag for your front door, hand tie style. You can do it. All right, everyone, so for our last DIY, what I want to do is something absolutely gorgeous for my front door. You know, I'm always telling you, you only get one chance to make a statement on your front door. But this week, I wanted to do something different. And for that, I chose this basket that I have to continue with that spring theme. And so what I'm going to do is, first of all, I already put foam in it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just gonna go ahead and cover the front of it with some of this greenery. And so I'm gonna just start adding this green all throughout my basket like this. And I just want to make sure that I cover the top and then also add some to the very top in the crown right here. So all you have to do is add some types of greenery, and don't forget that, remember, what happens on the right happens on the left, and what goes up must come down. So I'm going to use all of this greenery that I have. Once again, this is from Walmart. My favorite greenery they have is this eucalyptus, and as you can see, it's covering some of this. These are two of them. They get all tangled up. It's covering some of my basket and it's getting me some height as well, because I'm going to add some flowers to this. So I'm gonna add all of them, all the ones that I have. I could add more, but I'm gonna stop right there. So now what I'm going to do is I'm gonna grab some of this hydrangea and I'm gonna put one right here on the left front, one to the right, one to the left, like this, and one in the very front right here. And as you can see, that help us cover. I'm gonna move this guy over to the left a little bit more towards this side to kind of cover all the way around the perimeter. So now that I have that, I have this blue flower. This is a hyacinth, and so what I'm going to do is I'm gonna start right here on the corner, and this is going to go just in between my flowers, and I'm gonna show you a trick. So for this particular one, I have this extra foliage. This is the flower, how it comes. I have a foliage right here that is a hydrangea foliage. I always save all those foliages, and I just add the flower to the foliage, and you will see that it all helped me to cover more of the perimeter. And remember, the more foliage you have, the more natural it will look. I'm gonna add one right here to the top, and I'm going to, let me spin this to me. I'm gonna add one over here to my right, and the rest of these flowers I'm just gonna add right here and angling them as well, and I'm gonna add one right here to the front. All right, so now I'm gonna get my statement flower and I'll be right back with you. All right, you guys, so now this is what's gonna make it really, really fun. What I'm going to do is I'm gonna start adding some of this beautiful flower that is going to be really tall, and I want it to be as tall as possible. So I'm just gonna go ahead and poke the tallest ones first, fanning it out like this, making kind of like a fan. And I really want it to spill forward as well. Remember, you have to have some filler, some thriller, and some spiller. So I'm gonna go ahead and go right here. Adding that to my left. I want it to be really full. I wanted to, basically what I wanted was like all just this flower, but in order to make it look more beautiful, you kind of have to add some other accent flowers, but I'm going to cut so many of them. As you can see, it is starting to spill forward. I'm gonna add one right here to the top. You have to go in and out, back and forth, and make it fuller. So now I'm gonna grab my wire cutters to continue adding some of this flower right here. I'm gonna speed this up. You guys will see the end result soon. Keep watching. All right, so I've added most of my delphinium and some of my hydrangeas. So now I'm gonna show you a real quick tip. When you get closer to the rim of your container, what you need to do is you need to go down. I'm gonna share with you right here. You need to go down and go as far down as you can on the flower, so it kind of starts going towards the rim of your flower. So let me do it one more time over here. I'm gonna push it down. Instead of going in the foam, I'm gonna go down onto the container, so that way it looks like it's cascading down, and that's what's going to make it look even more natural. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my bow and I'll be right back. All right, you guys, so I made another one of the burlap bows. I think it is very cohesive. So what I'm going to do, so I'm gonna go ahead and put it right here on the corner and add this bow and just let it hang out like this. I'm gonna go put this in the door and show you a close-up, so keep watching. All right, everyone, so here is your close-up at this absolutely gorgeous spring basket in my front door. It is such a statement. I'm gonna scoot back a little bit so you guys can see what a beautiful statement this is. The secret here is to just use the same color flower, very monochromatic, and then also to add just a touch of burlap on this beautiful basket. I really hope that this was helpful. I cannot wait to read your comments, so be sure to leave a comment down below and let me know if this is something that you would try instead of a wreath on your front door.